Hello there, guys. Let's start.
All right, today we're going to talk about something you've definitely felt, even if you couldn't quite put your finger on it. We're calling it the AI slop crisis. So, have you noticed it lately? That feeling that the internet you remember, the one you grew up with, it's just kind of disappearing? It feels cluttered, right? A little robotic, and just worse? Well, today we're going to dig into why that's happening, what's causing this decline, and more importantly, give you a game plan to take back a more human-first digital life. And this whole problem, it actually has a name: AI slop. Yeah, it's that absolute flood of low-quality, sometimes just bizarre, AI-generated stuff that's bearing all the good human-made information we're trying to find. It's exactly why everything online feels a little fake these days. And where do we run into this mess first? Well, for most of us, it's right at the front door of the internet, the search engine. So, get this. For the first time in more than 10 years, Google's iron grip on search is actually starting to weaken. Now, that dip you see below 90%, it might not look like a huge deal, but we're talking about millions and millions of people who are so fed up, they're actively looking for something else. And you know why? It's simple, really. The product is just not as good as it used to be. And here's why. SEO optimized garbage and just a mountain of ads. They've won the war for your screen. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You search for something simple and get hit with a 3,000-word novel that takes forever to get to the point, all just to game the system. What happened behind the scenes is that the ad teams basically beat the product teams. The goal wasn't to give you the best answer anymore. It was all about showing up forever growth to Wall Street. So what's really fueling all of this? Look, it's not some brilliant evil master plan. It's really a messy mix of pure panic, totally broken business models, and, well, some truly weird AI screw-ups. Okay, let's take a look at a perfect case study: Duolingo. I mean, they built this huge, loyal following by making learning languages genuinely fun and addictive. They even called it an ironclad habit. But then came the pivot to being AI first. They laid off their human contractors and swapped them out for AI, all to save a couple of bucks. And the result? Well, users immediately started noticing a huge spike in errors and complained about these boring robotic lessons. And this is where you see the real human cost. I mean, listen to this quote from a user who had a 650-day streak. They said it all felt meaningless once they realized the content was just slop. That emotional connection, all that trust they built up, gone. It's the classic corporate trap, isn't it? You save a tiny bit on wages, but in the process you completely destroy the very user trust that made your company valuable to begin with. And that's the key thing to understand here. This isn't some well-thought-out strategy. People who used to work at these big tech companies have literally called it a stone-cold panic. It's just this frantic, mindless fear of getting left behind, and it's pushing companies to launch these half-baked AI features just to prove they're still in the race. And the results of this panic are, well, they're completely absurd. We're now living in a world where a major search engine's AI actually told people to put glue on their pizza so the cheese wouldn't slide off. Or, get this, advise them to eat 1 rock a day for the minerals. I'm not making this up. This is what happens when you rush things out the door. But okay, forget the bad advice for a second. Are people even sticking with these flashy new AI tools? This one number tells you everything you need to know. 1%. That's the 30-day user retention for OpenAI's super impressive video tool Sora. Just 1%. There's actually a name for this: AI tourism. It's this idea that we all log on, try out the cool new tool, get that initial wow moment from making a neat picture or video, and then we just leave, and we don't come back. So why is that? It's because the stuff it makes, while it looks cool, it's missing a human story. There's no effort, no substance, no soul. And once that initial novelty wears off, there's nothing left to hold you there. So if the products are getting worse and these flashy AI features are just a gimmick, then why is it so hard to just leave? Well, it's because we're kind of trapped. We're stuck inside systems that are specifically designed to keep us from walking away. I mean, look at how broken the incentives are. When a company like Google pushes these AI summaries at the top of the page, it actually hurts their main business, right? Because you're not clicking on the ad links that make them all their money, but they're doing it anyway. Why? Because they're desperate to tell investors they have a big growth story for the age of AI. It's a total paradox, and they're basically eating their own foundation to do it. And it's not just about weird incentives. The other way they keep you locked in is with something called switching costs. These are all the little traps they set for you. Think about it. All your photos are in one place, all your emails in another, all your documents somewhere else. It makes the idea of leaving feel so difficult or even costly that you just don't, even when the service is getting worse and worse. Here's a perfect real-world example of this in action: the Chromebook lifecycle. So Google completely took over the education market by flooding schools with these cheap laptops. But here's the catch. These things come with a built-in kill switch. After just a few years, they stop getting security updates, and pretty soon after that, they're basically just e-waste. This is the death of the open web, right here. It's disposable hardware built for recurring profit, not for things that actually last.
Okay, so how do we actually fight back against all this? Well, it really starts with a shift in mindset. We have to go from being passive consumers to being much more critical users. And the first step is to do a simple human-first audit of your own digital life.
First off, audit your streaks. Seriously ask yourself, am I using this app because it's giving me real value, or is it just a mindless habit? If it feels like slop, just delete it. Step 2, switch your gateway to the web. Try out a search engine that actually prioritizes context instead of just ads. After that, make a conscious choice to value effort. Support real human creators, not just automated content farms. And be mindful of that moat we talked about. Before you jump on a free service, think about the switching costs they're building to trap you. And finally, demand things that last. Choose hardware and software that don't have a built-in kill switch. Look, the whole AI bubble is going to keep wobbling, for sure. But our need for genuine human connection and information we can actually trust, that's not going anywhere. In this new and hopefully more clear-eyed digital world, trust is the only currency that's really going to matter. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Is your digital life being built for you, or is it being built for an algorithm?